The identification of evil is the first point I'd like to make today. When you know something's really wrong, when you see violence, when you sense violence, you're a witness to it, and it comes into your body, and it has an impact. It's a superstorm. It has an impact in your electromagnetic soul. Amen? Amen. It changes how you feel. You have to try to adjust and tack against it, to be kind to the people around you. When we have a nation that is in a state of permanent war with people around the world, when we know that we're dropping drones every day, that we're paying for those drones with our taxes, we make choices about how to make it through the day, being a peaceful person. But if something happens, sometimes peace people find themselves reacting like road rage. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? You can be committed to peace, and you can be vulnerable to having a temper that might be violent to another person. Your peace can become violent very easily. The registration of evil is a terrible problem for us. Sometimes I don't think we consciously address it. We become triangulators. We become as guilty as the Clintons. It's very easy when you're dealing with evil to be just a little bit better than evil. You know what I mean? Just a little bit nicer, just a little bit more liberal, just a little bit more peaceful. You're not the 1%, maybe you're the 4%. You know, you just triangulate. We've been triangulated by the Clintons and politics generally, especially since 9/11, we've been triangulated to death. I mean, it's the basic Washington theory for manipulating us. And that is how we become slaves, I think. The right thinking is got to be addressed. In and of itself, it's not working. One thing it does is it makes our activism weak. I think that we need to fess up right now and look our activism in the eye. We haven't been very good at it lately. We want to save the earth. We want the earth to save us. Amen? Amen. That would seem to be the big issue that includes all the other issues. We want to live, and we want our children and grandchildren to live. Our activism right now isn't going to get that done. Think of the great social movements of this country that we gave the world. From labor, Mother Jones, Walter Reuther, through the civil rights movement, the peace movement, the women's movement, the gender rights movement. These movements, they had activists. Every one of those movements had activists. And what I mean by activists is people willing to risk life and limb. But we need to notice and study and take into our bodies the activism that really is a signal of a possible social movement, but which just isn't taking place on the scale that it must take place. We all have to do it. We all have to do it. And the people that aren't going directly to jail and going right in front of the guns, well, they have to be supported by people who are supporting them. We all have to work together here.